How exciting has today been? Just talking to everybody over that quick afternoon tea. You know, that sense of collaboration and that we can work together. It is fantastic, and I think, you know, we've got really exciting things to come. My name's Karen Quick. I'm the CEO of Meningitis Centre Australia. I've been asked to give you a little 5-minute flash talk and introduce our next guests. So, for those that don't know, meningitis is a swelling of the meninges, which is the lining of the brain and the spinal cord. It comes in various forms, both viral and bacterial. 1 in 10 who contract the disease will die, and 1 in 4 will end up with a permanent disability. And for that reason, we get to work with a lot of you that are sitting in this room today. So let me tell you about Sarah. Sarah had bacterial meningitis 6 years ago. Sarah has now had, she survived. Sarah's now had over 200 operations. She's lost 4 major organs. Her kidneys have failed. She's had a kidney transplant. She will never have children. She's had amputations and she is fed by a drip. She can't eat food. There's not much of her body that hasn't been affected. Sarah's overall costs are over $3 million a year, and then an extra $600 or $800 a month out of her own pocket. Enormous cost. Stacey Ann's son was a fit, healthy 23-year-old. He loved fishing, he loved going out with his friends, he loved hunting, he loved his rugby. He had a headache one lunchtime, but he still went to his work Christmas party. He came home at 7:30 and he wasn't feeling that great and he went to bed. At 9:30, his mum heard a thump and went to his bedroom to check he was having a seizure. Now let me read you some of what she told the Federal Health Minister a couple of weeks ago. I'm going to have to read it, sorry. On arrival, we were placed in a family room. This is when I knew things were really, really bad. I started throwing up. About 45 minutes later, a doctor came and told us that Braden was brain dead and there was nothing they could do for him. I just couldn't believe this was happening. Braden was transferred to ICU so that over 200 of his friends and family could come and say goodbye. I wanted to spend one more night holding him as a mother, but the police had to take his body away because he was a fit and healthy 23-year-old. A few days later, we found out it was meningococcal B. Braden's passing has rocked our family's world, our community, his workplace, his football club, and it has changed me as a person dramatically. I am sad and I am angry at all the things my boy will miss out on. That I thought my son was fully vaccinated for meningococcal at school by the government. I never knew there was a B strain. They didn't tell me about it. They never told me about it, or that I had to arrange for this vaccination and pay for it myself. Braden should never have got this disease. He could have been saved by a vaccine. I do not wish this journey on anyone. You know, these personal stories are why we here at Meningitis Centre today are here. We raise awareness. We want people to know about these diseases. We want them to be aware of the signs and symptoms. We advocate for vaccines. ACWY is on our immunisation plan for children and teenagers, but not the B at the moment. And yet the cases are going up. Do you know why I've been here today? The office got notified of 2 more cases. For over 30 years, we have been a patient-driven, doctor-supported organisation who is now recognised nationally as the peak body for meningitis, pneumococcal, meningococcal and lots of other related diseases. We're also part of COMO, who is the Confederation of Meningitis Organisations, which is organisations around the world, and we hold a seat on the WHO Strategy Advisory Board for defeating meningitis for 2030. We also have a wonderful support group called Mending Hearts. I know I've spoken to a lot of you today who come across people that have had meningitis, meningococcal, pneumococcal, who wasn't aware of it. We are here for you with our 1800 number 24/7. You know, if your child is one of the 300,000 immunised every year against strains of meningococcus, you have Meningitis Centre Australia to thank for that. You need to know the signs and symptoms, guys. As I said, cases are going up. We've got a table at the back. Come and see me at the end. Get them for your organisations. Get them for yourselves. It may save a life. We are currently advocating all state governments and the federal government to add meningococcal B to their state immunisation plan. We do not want and we do not need any more deaths from a vaccine-preventable disease. They can do this and change this right now without going through a whole lot of red tape. And it's beginning to move over east, which is really exciting.